Today, we're looking at Big Baby Gucci's newest album. Actually, it's not his newest album anymore. Sorry, I forgot I'm behind. But we're looking at his album, And When I Am Alone. Pretty good album here. I have to go ahead and get that out the door. Lots of like here. I'm a big Baby Gucci fan. I am. If you're a fan of this channel, you know that. I've reviewed, this could be the fifth album I've reviewed by him. I'm trying to remember if I did a review on When I'm Asleep or When I'm Awake. I don't think I did. I think that's right before I kind of started doing these again for like the second time. This is now my third time. Funny how that works, but sorry if you catch me not looking at the camera. I'm trying to do better about like staring at it. But um, a lot to like about this. A lot to like about this album. His last couple, if you've been following the reviews, if you've watched every single one of them, or if you've watched at least the last two Big Baby Gucci reviews, his last, I know for a fact this is at least my fourth. This is at least my fourth album review by him. The first one I did was on, I think it's called Baby 5. Very weak project. Didn't like it. Anti was getting better, and then Internet Explorer is my favorite Big Baby Gucci album in probably 2 or 3 years. It probably since One Night I Took Acid, or yeah, is that what the album's called? I think it's called One Night I Took Acid. My favorite Big Baby Gucci album, by the way. You should go listen to it. Don't buy the vinyl though, because he will scam you. He scammed me out of a vinyl. I DM'd him about it. He even told me when I was gonna get it, and I still never got it. Now he ignores my DMs. Funny enough, this is the most popular person to ever answer one of my text or Instagram DMs. Anyway, that's a separate point. Um, Back to this album. With Internet Explorer, I noticed a going upward again in his sound and how Big Baby Gucci is actually making music, and he sounds like he actually wants to. He sounds like he not necessarily has anything to say, because he's never really been like a lyrically tapped artist, but you don't really go to his music for that, obviously. But there is a sound here. There is something he wants to showcase. You know what I'm saying? I kind of compare what Big Baby Gucci makes kind of like to Yeet music almost. That he ain't really saying anything, but there's a creative vision. And I think that it is very well explored in this album, even though I think it is a slight downstep from Internet Explorer, mainly because this album loses gas in the second half because of that kind of 19 song track list. The normal actual like first version of the album is not available on Spotify, so I'm not really looking at an accurate track list. The deluxe edition does have good songs, but that makes the track list go from what I'm 99% sure was 19 to 25. So now it's even a lot more bloated. So if you listen to it from start to finish, it probably loses even more gas in the second half. That's really the only like main complaint I have about the project. There's a couple songs that are a little weaker, but a lot of this is a lot of combination between a lot of pop and trap that Big Baby Gucci has done for so long, and he kind of keeps on finding ways to make it sound interesting with production, with the what he can do with his voice, with how it sounds, with the way he flows. A lot of great production on here. Blue in the Mouth is one of the best beats I've heard in probably the last year on just songs in general. Maybe not even like best beat, but like one of my favorite songs of the last like year or so, rap wise, because that I can't get enough of it. Smoke Break again is on the other side of that, another great beat where he does a lot more with his voice to make the song a lot more interesting. He's able to kind of change the tone of his voice like slightly, or not like not so slightly, and it's very different. And it manages to make it sound very natural and very a part of the song. Sometimes he can do it, and it does throw the song a little out of whack, but that doesn't happen as often. The latter does not happen near as much as the former. I think I'm saying that right. Um, but other than that, I do think the track list is very well like organized. Almost that's kind of a very small thing to talk about, but I'm very nitpicky with stuff like that. The new Future album that just came out, I think it benefited from a reorganization of the track list. That way, you don't lose so much gas at the second half. But anyway, 19 songs is a lot of Big Baby Gucci to listen to from start to finish. It is, especially with only a couple features. And I don't even remember if this. I think what's her name? If it's even a she, I don't. Even, I want to say it's a girl. A Lois on Saint Laurent Dawn. I don't remember if that's a deluxe edition song or not. But if it is, then that's only like the second feature. And even though I kind of like Austin Skinner on the song he's on, I don't necessarily like that song that much. and you can say that about a few. I'm gonna try and find them. Life of the Party's fine. Always Sunny's fine. Talk to Me's fine. Deep Dive is fine. All Me's pretty good. Perks and LSD's a good song. Passenger Pray for Me, Chasing the Moon are fine. Fear the Enemy and Cherry Red Seats are good ways to end off that project, but a lot of that second half is kind of unmemorable whenever you have songs like, I think Gengi's a pretty good one, especially whenever you have songs like Smoke Break, Death No, and Blue in the Mouth all in the first half. You have, it's definitely a lot more top heavy, and a lot of like, here's my album right here. Oh, I don't really know what to put in it. Here's a few filler songs to throw in to kind of reach that track list to get more streams. Which, honestly, I feel like that's such a overly used complaint, because it is like, it's very valid, and I think that about a lot of modern day hip hop releases. Music releases in general are just too big, and that's what's making like another video for another day. I'm gonna shut my mouth. I might record that video after this though. You never know. But a lot of great flows here. Some bars here and there. Blue in the Mouth's got a few bars that I like. A lot of nice lines. A lot of nice things he does with his voice. Nothing too crazy lyrically. He's not like, you don't go to Big Baby Gucci to hear someone's to hear lyrical talent. It's kind of like going to like what you listen to Uzi for, sort of. But I think it fills a different niche than what Uzi does, and not saying that Big Baby Gucci's better by any means, because he's not. But I do find myself personally listening to Big Baby Gucci more than I do Uzi, especially now that Uzi hasn't dropped in a while. But Baby Gucci just seems to fill more of that niche, that mood that I'm in, that mood in between happy and sad, that mood like in between hype and chill, almost kind of a perfect just like blend of it a little bit, which is kind of hard to describe. Um, but I think his music is great for that niche. I think if you find yourself in that mood, like kind of like you don't want to listen to a hype song, but you don't want to listen to a chill vibey song, play a Big Baby Gucci song. Like, it's probably out there, and you play one. Like, half the track list from this album is like that. There is a couple problem there here and there though. A couple of the songs do sound a little samey. That's why they are a little unmemorable. A couple of them overstay their welcome. A couple of them are too long. But those are kind of more nitpicks instead of actual like criticisms. A couple, I do think he does a really good job at combining the pop and trap sound across this whole project. Again, unlike some of his like projects from like the last couple years, just a couple, they just so happen to have been back to back too, but they uh they don't do as good of a job as actually sounding inspired. Almost, they kind of just sound like he got in the mic and just made something. This doesn't sound like that. This sounds like it has an actual creative direction. You know what I'm saying? Almost like he's in the rooms he's in his cover. Like, there's a creative direction here, and I do think that that is something that can make an album better. I feel like a lot of listeners can tell in the back of their head. They might not, or like subconsciously, they might not know it like actively, but they can tell when something's lazily made, and this isn't lazily made. Overall, I think I'm gonna give this a 7. It's kind of hard to talk a lot about this album because there's not a lot like. It's weird. I think it does a lot without doing so much. I think simplicity does a lot, and this is one of those albums where I think that really showcases itself. Addition by subtraction, almost. But it's weird to say that though, because that makes it sound like I just called it bland. It's not bland at all, but I do think there's a lot to like here. There's a lot to like, and I think you should go listen to it. Subscribe, please.